Hello everyone, my name is Norberto Cisneros. Most of my friends and family call me Norby. I'm a partner here at Maddox, Isaacson & Cisneros. We do a lot of real estate law here that encompasses representing homeowners associations to representing individual homeowners and litigation, construction defect matters, as well as representing commercial property owners in some of their complex matters. So today what I'd like to do is give you 3 points that I think a buyer should look out for as they're purchasing a home. The first thing I want to discuss is representation. The first thing that happens when a buyer does find a home is there's going to be a contract. And the contract's quite lengthy. It's going to be difficult for a homeowner to understand that. But I think representation by a real estate agent is very important. The real estate agent will have seen the contract numerous times and will be able to guide them through it. This is particularly important if you're buying a new home, a new built home. As you enter the developer's office, they'll make you believe that they're representing you. However, they are not. So in that case, representation by a real estate agent is very helpful, whether you're purchasing a brand new built home or just purchasing a resale home. The second thing I'd like to discuss, which is very important, are the disclosures. The disclosures are required by Nevada law to be made by the seller. And they really identify, here in Nevada, they require that the seller identify known problems. And just to give you an example, if the home has been under a Chapter 40 construction defect case, they have to let the buyer know that. If the home has structural problems that they are aware of, they need to disclose that. If there are plumbing issues or any other issues that could affect the value of the home, the seller is required by law to disclose this to the buyer. So disclosures are extremely important for the buyer to review because it is a roadmap to take a look and further investigate potential issues with the home, particularly before buying them. So it is a tool that the buyer has to ensure they're buying a good home and what they intend to purchase. The last thing I'd like to discuss is, and I think it's extremely important, is that the homeowner do their due diligence. That the buyer goes in and actually flushes the toilets, actually turns on the sinks, and walks the home themselves. In addition, I highly recommend that an inspection be done, that a home inspector, be retained by the buyer to inspect the home. Now, the home inspections, for the most part, don't catch some of the more difficult issues and more complex issues. But it's important because if there is litigation later on, I guarantee you the home buyer will be asked, did you do your due diligence? Did you get an inspection done of the home? And I've seen that in many of the cases I've handled, and that will be one of the first questions you will be asked. And it does not look good, particularly in front of a jury or an arbitrator, if the homeowner hasn't done their due diligence. So those are the 3 items I think that are very important for a home buyer to do as they're purchasing a new home. There are many others, but I think those are the 3 that from the outset of the purchase agreement that they can start taking a look at. So as I mentioned, if you have any questions about any of these 3 things I've just discussed, or anything else related to real estate law, please feel free to give my firm a call. We'd be more than happy to discuss these issues with you or any other issues you may have. And again, anything from simple contract issues, real estate, all the way to complex commercial property litigation matters. So please feel free to give me a call at my office, and thank you very much for your time. Sorry, the sellers were... I said, hold on real quick. Do you want me to pick up from like where I left? So the disclosures that are required by the seller to alert the... I did it again.